Now, one of the first lessons we teach then is you don't trade stocks, you trade people. We obviously start off with green and red candles, and we want to talk about this for just a minute, and then I'll show you just a sequence of candles in a moment. But in this case, we have a green candle, and you can see where it opened, you can see where it closed, you can see the low and the high. Obviously, if we got into this green candle and we're thinking we wanted to take a long trade, what kind of candle would we really want to see after this green candle? Another? Right, that's obviously what we'd like to see. So every case, the candle now becomes support and resistance. So the bottom of the candle, if we were to fall down below the bottom of the candle, would be breaking support. If what we want to see is the next candle comes up above to break this area of resistance so that we can then move up to another bar, and the lower of the bar then becomes new support and so forth and so on. So when we analyze each bar, we're actually learning what other people are thinking in the conviction of that particular move in the stock. This could be a 2-minute bar, a 5-minute bar, a 60-minute bar. This could be a weekly bar with 5 trading days in it. So I think you get the point that it doesn't make any difference what type of bar that is. What's important is that you understand support and resistance, and these become focal points. Now, when we begin to look at a sequence of bars as we have here, this is, of course, one of the pages we have in our courses that we teach from. And we start looking at a group of different bars. Now, we test our students because, see, we don't want to get you folks trapped into thinking about all the different terminology. Now, many of you have probably read a great number of Japanese candle books and the different patterns. There's all sorts of things like doji bars and hammers and inverted hammers. And there's, of course, dark cloud covers. There's dark cloud covers with a mama holding an umbrella, with rain turning to sleet and soon snow. You know what I'm talking about. Now, some of those that I just mentioned are not true patterns, because I know some of you are writing those down saying, I knew I was missing that one pattern. It's not important what the pattern is. It's more important to understand the psychology of what's happening inside the bars in the pattern. Does that make sense, everybody? So once you can determine what the psychology of the bars are and what's happening, it's more important that you can identify that than to memorize every single type of description of a candle or pattern that candles create. So in this case here, would everyone tell me right now that number 2 is not bullish? Would you agree with me? We test our students in our very beginning of our classes. That is not a bull one, the candles. Obviously, this candle closed in the bottom 20 or 30% of its entire trading range, and we put these tests in our courses so that we can get people thinking, going, hey, Ron, that's not really a bullish candle. And I go, you're absolutely right. That's what I wanted you to tell me. I wanted you to get the idea that the bears started selling this down and it closed in the bottom percentage. Just as much as the bulls didn't really win this conclusively, this is much more of a neutral candle. I won't go into the short side, but over here on the bottom left, would you folks here in the audience here in New York, of course, agree with me that number 2 and number 3, that is not the case, that no one did not win those? The bears won this candle and the bulls won this candle conclusively. The bears crushed this candle. They won this candle. They closed in the bottom 2 or 3%. The bulls won this candle and drove it all the way up to the top. And I think you can see that. So by just simply understanding these rudimentary things, it becomes very much easier to be able to interpret candles. I've done this at a couple of workshops here in New York. I've done this online a few times, so I'll do it here just to have a little fun and maybe get a laugh or two. What's 7 times 7, everyone? Right. 8 times 8? Right, and louder, 12 times 12. Oh, with great glee, 12 times 12. What's 29 times 28? What? Nobody's got it. Okay. The point is that we went up in grade school with flashcards up to 12 times 12, and we got them very easily, right? And everyone would really enjoy is 12 times 12 because that's the last one I had to learn. I want to get it to the point to where I can hold up a flashcard and show you 2 bars, 3 bars, and you're going to go bullish, bearish, need to get out, think about getting out, lighten up my position, stay in the trade. And by being able to make those associations like we did on flashcards, within a very short period of time, I'm not talking years, I'm talking about weeks to months, you'll be able to learn, especially and easily, just 2 and 3 bar patterns to where you're investing and you're trading will improve incredibly. In fact, if you were to get into a trade long, right about where that 1 is, and the bar closed near its top like it did right here, at the very top of that bar, would you be happy, yes or no? Sure you would. But what if the very next bar closed like this under the 1, and now you were slightly negative on the trade, and you see this topping tail here, and it closed in the bottom? Would you be at least somewhat worried, yes or no? Yes, you would. And you should have your finger on the trigger. You might consider maybe even reducing some of your position, because don't be trying to go on hope and prayer. Wishful thinking. Objectively, you can see what people are thinking in the bars. These bars, folks, are the cash register of the market. Warren Buffett or anyone could very well be in these bars. Would you agree with me? Yes or no on that? Anything that's happening at this moment in time when a bar is being formed is the cash register of the market. So let me ask you another question. Okay, when we start talking about the cash register of the market and we have time and sales, what makes up every one of the 170 indicators work? We have moving averages, we have stochastics, we have the momentum indicator, which is the MOM3, we have the DAD 17, we have the aunt and uncle. I'm just kidding about the last two. I know you're writing those down, also thinking I knew I missed a couple. What powers every single indicator of the 170 to make those lines form on your graphs? What? Price and volume. If without price and volume, you will never get a moving average or any other indicator to work in existence. So the sooner you can identify price and volume and understand the relationships between that, the better you're going to make your investment decision.